Hello everyone, I hope everyone has had a good Sunday so far. I'm meteorologist Jordan Darensberg, and this morning had to be quite interesting, especially late morning if you were north of Georgetown, especially north and northeast of Georgetown, because we had those severe warning storms and looked like they had dropped some pea-sized hail according to some photos out of Jarrell that I saw earlier today. Now let's take a look at what's going on right now, and we are going to take it to the wall, and what we are going to show you is our almanac for today. And we got to the mid to upper 70s across central Texas this afternoon, and we got to 74 at the airport and upper 70s at Camp Mabry, but there were some areas out in the hill country that got to the 80s because they didn't see a whole lot of rain, and the drier air came behind that dry line, and that allowed them to heat up a little quicker because remember, drier air heats up faster. Nothing but sunshine except for a few clouds in LaGrange, but by and large we are looking at low to mid 80s area wide, upper 70s, a bit of an exception at Camp Mabry right now. Your allergy count has oak, ash, and grass in the high. Cedar is medium, mold is medium, and you can find this each and every day on kview.com and the KView app. But as we take a look at our satellite and radar, not only are we seeing a little bit of light cloud cover out there in portions of Fayette County, but we've also got some streamer shower action going on over some sections of the coastal plains, maybe even sections of Milam County as well. And we're starting to see a storm bubble on up across that Trinity River there. But as we zoom this out a little bit wider, a lot of the storm activity is now confined to portions of the upper Midwest. So portions of Indiana, up through sections of Ohio and on through Michigan, and even the boot heel of Missouri, seeing some tornado-warned storms. And look at this back behind it over portions of Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, northern Wisconsin, places like Green Bay. Could be seeing a little bit of late season snow in some spots as well. With that though, a lot of those areas have a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather. We just have a marginal risk for severe weather here in central Texas, but by and large, the threat is past for us. Now, as we go hour by hour, could start off with maybe an isolated shower here and there, a little bit of mist, but other than that, low cloud cover and lows getting down to the upper 60s and lower 70s. Now, with that front having passed through, we're only going to be getting to the mid 70s throughout much of central Texas, and maybe lower 80s are possible in western sections of the hill country. So a nice northerly breeze is going to keep us nice and cool, maybe around or even below average in a lot of places. And we'll be slightly cooler on Tuesday morning as well as a result, looking at low to mid 60s instead of upper 60s, lower 70s. Some areas may make a run at the upper 50s, especially in some of our northern counties. Now, we should have good baseball weather on Tuesday afternoon because the winds will shift and the southerly flow will return and the mugginess will return as well. We do have a 10% shower chance, but I have a high of around 81 on Tuesday afternoon. It's a big day for the Round Rock Express. Hopefully they get their first win of the year because unfortunately they were swept by the Tacoma Rainiers out there in Washington State this afternoon. But they are taking on the Toledo Mud Hens of the International League. That's the opposite league from the Round Rock Express. And the first pitch is at 7:15. Will be warmer, but also breezy as well. Now note the wind. It's going to be coming out of the south, possibly at a pretty good clip as well. And the significance of that is that with a southerly flow, the wind is going to be blowing out and possibly out towards left center as well. So the home run porch may need to be on alert for home run balls that are being hit throughout the course of the game because the ball will be carried by that wind, and it's going to be difficult for the left fielder and center fielder to make plays on it if the wind plays tricks on it like the ball sometimes is subjected to. But as we head through your Wednesday, that southerly flow will really kick in, and look at that high, 90 degrees. But by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, we add a little bit more in terms of humidity and a little bit more in terms of cloud cover, only getting to the mid to upper 80s for your Thursday and Friday. And that's when rain chances start to increase as well. Friday and Saturday, Saturday especially, Austin FC at home against the Portland Timbers on that day. And I have a 40% storm chance for your Saturday afternoon. The models had been wishy-washy. Now we're starting to see a little bit of a congruence with this model data. It's looking mostly around a half an inch to maybe even an inch, maybe even an inch and a half in outer fringes of the hill country. Now the hill country, we really could use that rain, especially for the Highland Lakes. And also there are areas in the hill country, especially Gillespie and Blanco counties, that have exceptional levels of drought. The GFS model has more rain in more widespread areas of central Texas, with the heaviest rain in portions of Burnett and Wilco, as opposed to the western sections of the hill country. Still a little bit of disagreement on that, but as we get closer to the actual event later on in the week, we should have a much better idea of how the rainfall models are going to go. Now, as we look through the next 7 days, not only do we have a good storm chance on Saturday, that's ahead of another front. And we're going to be getting down to those mid-70s by the time we get to Sunday. That is still 7 days out, but it looks like a nicer and cooler period next Sunday. But Friday through Sunday, if we get good beneficial rainfall to help our Highland Lakes and get us out of the highest levels of drought, then I definitely will take it. Now, let's see. I don't think anyone has any questions right now. Doesn't look like if anyone has any questions. It doesn't look like it right now. Let's see. Doesn't look like it right now. Let's see how much time has passed. Doesn't look like a lot of time has passed here. But again, we're going to watch very, very closely to see if we can get any more beneficial rainfall by the end of the week, especially I'm thinking Friday through Sunday. So let's see. We got 47 of y'all on. I know y'all have some questions. If y'all have them, let me know. But what we are going to do is we're going to go over and see if we can get some good storm reports from earlier, and then I'll pull up the boxes once we do, and we're going to see all of the hail reports that have come in so far. So let's see our storm reports. We do have a couple of reports of hail in northern Wilco, and we're going to start near Gerald, and we have about an inch of hail, so about pea-sized hail that was recorded at around 10:30 this morning, while a lot of y'all were probably in church at that point. And then along 95 near Granger, same thing, around an inch. So did have that severe storm move through. We did have some good winds associated with it as well, but a lot of those winds were below severe limits, I should say. And it's good that we mainly have hail and not strong winds, because straight line wind damage, I think, is worse than hail damage. Yes, hail has had its fair share of issues. Round Rock in September of 2023, perfect example of this. But wind damage could be over a wider area. Hail damage is a little more localized. So hail, yeah, it's small, but some hail could be large enough to cause damage as well. So that's why we really take hail very, very seriously here in the KV Weather Impact team. So by and large, our storm reports do show a couple of areas of hail of around an inch, but that's about it. So nothing really too eventful with that. Again, I talked about this yesterday, how if the cap were to break, we were going to have hail and strong winds with some storms. And lo and behold, that storm that passed through northern Wilco and then eventually through Milam County was successfully able to break that cap. So that's what ended up happening. And it ended up being one real warned storm that had passed through, but that was about it. And David Alford, huge fan of ours, says, thanks for the updates. I saw a new mezzo just to our east. Let's see what he's talking about. I think what you're looking at, David, if you're looking at our mezzo just off to our east, that's this one over portions of Leon County and out toward Palestine. But it's not really a whole lot we're seeing on a satellite radar. Maybe also just a few areas of some light showers over sections of the coastal plain. So places like Giddings, out toward Bastrop, out toward LaGrange. Now it's looking more so like Milam County areas just off to the southeast of Cameron, places like the Gauze area as well. Those are the areas that we are seeing a little bit of that shower activity. And those were the same areas that had that strong thunderstorm to severe thunderstorm pass through earlier today. David Alford again says, we could use more rain. Bro, I am with you on this, because we're going to pull up this drought monitor right now. You know what? Let's pull up the drought monitor so that I can show everybody, because, I mean, we really, really are starved for rain. Like seriously, like it's getting old. Like, it's really getting old, and I'm getting annoyed by the lack of rainfall and the severe extreme drought that we have. Now, here's this week's drought monitor, and not only do we have portions of Gillespie and Blanco counties in exceptional levels, look at Lake Travis. And look at what's off to the western sections of Lake Travis and right there along that Colorado River, including Lake LBJ and on near the Burnett-Llano County line. That's the highest level of drought, folks. And that's right on top of our Highland Lakes. And that's really, really not good news for those Highland Lakes, because we've got so much water that flows in from the hill country into those Highland Lakes. And if we don't get enough of that, that's how we get all those water restrictions. That's why those water levels drop. That's where we have issues on that particular arena. But hopefully we could get very good rains, especially in that southern section of the hill country, to get good inflows into Lake LBJ and Lake Travis, or maybe even the entire hill country as a whole and areas just off to the north and west of Llano and Mason counties, so that we can get good flow into Lake Buchanan as well. So we really need the rain. I mean, this is getting old. This is getting annoying. Thankfully, we have good rain chances for Friday through Sunday, Saturday being the main bullseye at this particular juncture. Still 5 to 6 days out, though. There's still a lot that needs to be determined at this point. Let's see. This is the rainfall model data that we have. And I wanted to kind of show y'all this after the drought monitor to say, in the words of Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive, folks, because we've got some good rainfall totals. Now, we would like to have it come in spurts of maybe 1 to 2 inches over a few periods of time. And let's not have 20 inches all at once, kind of like what was going on with the situation down in the RGV, down toward McAllen, Brownsville, Harlingen, those areas. We showed those pictures right before our full forecast, and it just looked like an absolute mess. Like, it was just, it was just awful. Like, you never want that. Now, if we had that here, yes, it would be awful, but the only real plus side to that would be it would quickly fill up Lake Buchanan and the aforementioned Lake Travis as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that sense. It's because we need all the beneficial rain, but we don't want all of that flooding. If you pretty much, okay, what's the word I was going to use? If you look at it. So there it is. Let's see. Anyone else besides David Alford? David, we love you, but let's see if anyone else has anything. Doesn't look like it. I'll put the boxes back up to kind of show y'all the forecast for the E-Train's opening night on Tuesday against Toledo. We've got 81 warmer and breezy conditions, but other than that, that's pretty much all we've got. We've got, again, cooler tomorrow. So here's our 3 things that I want to have for your key takeaways from what I just gave y'all. Cooler temperatures tomorrow. We've got much toastier conditions for Wednesday. Should be nice for opening day for the E-Train. And beneficial rain Friday through Sunday. Saturday, right now, appears to be the main winner. Now, this could change. This could fluctuate. Amounts could go up or down depending on model trends. Hopefully they trend upward because that means more beneficial rain for us. But we really do not need the flood threat. So we're going to continue to track this for you in the KVUE Weather Impact Weather Center. And we are going to have all the latest on this throughout the course of the week leading up to that heavy rain. So with that, I will be right here for KVUE News at 10 on KVUE.com if you're watching there, or if you're also watching on KVUE Plus on our Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Roku, and also on air after the really fun events that we have on ABC leading up to KVUE News at 10. So we will see you then. I hope you guys have a great evening.